our first presentation this morning is going to be Richard Cooper Ribner. He's Applewood resident, and he's going to talk about their 4th of July parade that they did this year.
So I'm going to be short because we're starting late, and this is an activity that we undertook with only 3 weeks of planning, and I think that's the. We were new, and we decided to do this 4th of July parade, and with 3 weeks of planning, the key was that we went door to door. We had 10 people that got some flyers printed from the city, and we went door to door. We had over 300 people show up. We had an old fire engine, and it was maybe a half a mile or less of a, and of course, we had an ice cream social at the end that came back around. And again, it's, I guess, a tribute to what you can do with a little bit of effort. And again, it was the most successful activity we have had. And of course, we're doing it again this year. And I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, other than we got an old fire engine this year. We had a new one last year. And so the interesting thing was that there was a part of the community that actually had a little teeny parade, and we basically incorporated them into this, and they were part of the people that went door to door. So again, we had a zero waste ice cream social at the end, which turned out to be a challenge, but we had a lot of bags of stuff that we recycled. So again, a very successful activity, one of only a few that we have done. We're just getting ready to do a seed share, and that's going to be next Saturday. And you're all invited to come and see how it's done. This is the first time we've done it, but I'm a master gardener, and I've done a lot of research, and we have some speakers coming that'll teach people how to collect seeds, and also another presentation about how to start seeds. So we're very glad that we have Melissa to support us, because just about anything we have needed, they have been there for, including the raffle tickets that we're using for the seed share. Yeah. Thank you. Well done.
Hi everyone. For those of you who I haven't met yet, my name is Sarah. I am the intern at the City of Denver for the Sustainable Neighborhoods Program. Our next speaker is going to be Heather from Greater Park Hill.
Right, thank you. Good morning. So with the Greater Park Hill community, we have so much going on, and when we were asked to do the 2x2, I was a little overwhelmed because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, which program am I going to talk about? And it wound up being a common thread through all of our programs, and that's about educating the public, educating our neighbors about sustainability. That's the thread that runs through all of this, so much that we have it in our mission statement, and our mission statement is about educating and empowering the neighbors as well as the local businesses to perform sustainability acts and initiatives. So again, that thread of education is what we find to be the key of the successful programs that we run. And on this next, actually I'll have you go to the next one after that. This is, it's a hefty list. It's not all inclusive. And so at every turn, GPHC is looking to educate people about sustainability. And one of the things that the unique aspect of something such as our Be Careful campaign is the idea about educating people to use less pesticides, because we want those pollinators to fly around. The other piece about using less pesticides ties into our stormwater drainage workshops and forums, because that runoff goes into eventually the ocean. And that is something that we need to be aware of, because in Park Hill, in particular, we live on what's called the riverbed. Not all of Park Hill is built on the riverbed, but we have become aware, i.e. educated, about the fact of runoff. Some of the other areas that we really highlight is the sustainability zone. The sustainability zone is held at our street fair, which hosts over 3,000 participants. The sustainability zone is an area where we talk about different ways to reduce the ecological footprint. The sustainability zone is also in conjunction with what's called the e-recycling. So that is the electronic recycling. This year in particular, we took in over thousands of pounds of electronic recycling goods, so helping folks become educated into where and how to recycle their electronics. Another standout is the radon testing in Park Hill. Because we are one of the older, or our homes are a little older, we wind up dealing with radon quite a bit. And we have radon testing kits that were provided so that residents can become informed about the air quality in their home that they're breathing on a daily basis. And then finally, the last piece is this decision about bags. And it's like, okay, well, what's the big decision? Well, the emphasis here is simple daily decisions can have a great impact. And the story behind this goes, our board was determining which bags to offer to our neighborhood, to our the citizens, basically citizens of Denver. And we, it was a long debate, because we want to go with the biggest bang for our buck. So there were people on the side of the house that were nothing but these plastic bags. Well, of course, there's the other side of the house that was in line with, well, we want to do the right thing for the environment. And so what we came upon was the canvas bags, that it is the right decision and it is the right choice. And ultimately, we get to revel in the right choice of the canvas bags that are being passed around to your all's table. So please revel in the right bag, the right choice, and remember, vote for the tote. So, thank you.
Thanks, Heather. That was awesome. Thank you.
Your bag. Will you guys hold your bags up for a second?
Awesome. All right, so up next, we have Sam, and I know it's pronounced Monell, from Southern Gables, talking about their leaf collection day. And I should have mentioned, so you don't have to do this since no one else did, Jonathan is standing in the corner letting you know when you have 30 seconds left, and then you need to wrap it up, just so you know when you're getting close to 2 minutes. So we're really strict.
All right, so I kind of took this event over from Christy Cerrone. She was the one, I think maybe even before that might have been Dana, so I'm not really sure. But I inherited this project, and actually it's kind of evolved into a multi-group program in our neighborhood. And so what's special about this weekend is actually we do scouting for food that weekend. The Bear Creek High School is out there trying to fundraise for orchestra. And then we have our event coinciding right alongside, where we have volunteers from some of the high schools, Westwoods Community Church, which receives the food from the Scouting for Food, so it's kind of a full circle. And they provide volunteers to then rake leaves for senior citizens in the neighborhood, but then the whole neighborhood is welcome to come and drop off leaves. And we have now 2 of those roll-off dumpsters every year. And Christy said that holds about 3 to 4 tons each. So that's quite a bit of leaves that we're saving from the landfill every year. So I kind of already mentioned who participates in that. I think what was really key for us in that is that we had a committee. So we had myself trying to just kind of organize the event in general. Then I had somebody helping us try to gather up the volunteers, calling the high schools and the clubs, and also the Westwoods Community Church. We used Nextdoor to try to recruit people, and they're like, I saw it on Nextdoor and I just wanted to come and check it out. So that was really cool. And then Judy, she's actually part of our Southern Gables homeowners association, and she's the one that coordinated with all the senior citizens in the neighborhood. So she had a running list, and we kind of guesstimated how big their yard was so we could pair the right volunteers there. As you can see, there's just some things that you would want to keep in mind if you do have this event. We reserved our bins 2 to 3 months in advance from Alpine, and every year now that we've been a regular, they give us a little bit of a break for both bins. And it's actually our homeowners association, I call it the unofficial because you don't really pay into it if you don't want to, but they pay for that every year. So it's a community thing. We involve different groups and organizations in the neighborhood. And then we also ask permission to the school. So if you're thinking of holding it somewhere, you need to get permission to then hold it there. So we filled out the usage site for the parking lot, and they were fine with it. And then the day of, we had somebody actually assigned to be dispatch, and so she was in contact with all of our volunteers, and we had somebody picking up leaves, a couple of trucks that were bringing them back to the bin in the neighborhood, so that made it really easy. Let's see if I miss anything. Oh, and we had donuts and coffee. That helps too. And I mean, in general, just remember to love your neighbors, and it's just all about having fun, and sometimes the planning feels stressful, but all in the end, it's really worth it, and our neighborhood looks forward to it every year. And then there's some contact information. As you can see, I do Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts, so do a lot of different things. Thank you.
Next up, along the same lines, we have Michael and Tara from Congress Park.
Morning, everyone. I'm Michael, and this is Tara. Yeah, definitely following in the same vein as the last presentation, but Congress Park does our own leaf drop that takes place during the same time as Denver's leaf drop. Basically, our model is we just go pick up bags and make it extra convenient for our neighbors to recycle their leaves that are falling. So essentially how it works is we have a partnership with the Denver Compost Collective. We ask for a donation of $1 per bag. We do advertising beforehand through posters, social media, as well as through our newsletter. And the residents collect their leaves and leave them on the sidewalk or in front of their homes for us to come pick up. And we schedule times to come pick those up. And that takes place over the same period of time as Denver's leaf drop. And I'll have Tara talk about some of our outcomes.
So first we want to give a shout out to Emily Hunter, who couldn't be here today because she was the person who was the main coordinator, and they did like 10-hour days on the truck. So the reason we worked with Denver Compost Collective is they have a truck, and they take all the leaves to local farms, and some of these farms provide food for low-income neighborhoods. So it didn't go to the city leaf drop, it actually got diverted into farms. We visited about 100 households, and over 1,000 bags were collected. So we diverted 1,000 bags from the waste cycle, and it supports local community farms. So that was our event. I'm going to give a plug for those of you who haven't seen me yet. I'm going to be finding folks from Denver today. We're spending, the city of Denver is working on a compost challenge, and we would love Lakewood to do one as well. From April to November, we're just going to encourage all the green teams and everybody to do activities and publicity at their local neighborhood level to encourage people to compost. So that's coming up, and I have information about it with my email if you're interested in doing that. Did we leave anything out? So 1,000 bags out of the landfill.
Thank you to all of our neighborhood 2x2s.